money was, first of all, not really talked about very much. When it was talked about from a very scared perspective. Set achievable goals so that you can feel confident, so that you can prove to yourself, I can achieve these goals, and then build your way up. In the past, I've said things like, I want to have a $10,000 emergency fund. And then I wait for the account to fill itself up. Well, good luck with that. It was always on my mind. Money was always on my mind. I was always afraid of money. I'm on my way to being debt-free. So without further ado, let's pay off my line of credit right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. We are going to be talking about my personal finance goals, doing a little update on that, and actually taking action towards those goals today live on camera. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Zoe. I am 26 and I live in Montreal. I love talking openly, honestly, candidly about personal finance. I always try and say that like my channel is a place where we can learn from our mistakes, make mistakes. There is no judgment here. There are no harsh rules. It's really just like a friendly place where we can chat about personal finance and just figure our stuff out together, work towards our goals together, and accomplish our goals together. So thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited for this video. I'm feeling so good today. I actually self-tanned last night, which I don't know, it's just really elevating my mood. I've got a cup of tea, of course, and I'm wearing my comfy sweatpants, just wearing like an outfit that makes me feel confident. And why am I saying all of this? Why is this important? Because finance and personal finance used to be such a scary thing to me. It used to be such an uncomfortable subject for me. I would come on camera. I don't know why, like I would make videos talking about it, even though it made me uncomfortable. It was like my way of working through my discomfort, I guess. But here we are in April of 2023. And I don't know, I've come so far and I'm so excited to share my progress with you all, check in on our financial goals. And I just hope that this video can be maybe a little bit inspiring, maybe uplifting, motivating as well. And as always, it's not advice, okay? It's not advice. I'm not a professional. Now I know I just mentioned like how far I feel like I've come on my budgeting journey, but I feel like this video is going to be kind of like my old school style videos because I've got my phone with me. We're really going to be taking action on camera. So it might be a little bit disorganized, but I'm going to try and keep it as organized and somewhat concise as I can. The last thing I want to say is thank you so much to The Line for sponsoring this video. I'm going to talk about their products and how they have changed my life when it comes to budgeting in a minute. But before we get started in this video, let me know, what are some of your current financial goals? I know we did this and we talked about this at the beginning of the year, so you can let me know, have you gotten any new goals? Are you progressing towards your goals? Just let me know. And as always, there is no judgment in the comments, so I would really love to hear from you. And like I say, it's good luck when you comment down there. So can't wait to chat with you guys in the comments. All right, before we get into my goals, and I am going to tell you guys everything, we're going to take action together. I'm going to give you exact amounts as I do. I thought it would be fun to kind of just go through my story a little bit and also talk about the tools that I am using to kind of set me up for success because it's important. I grew up in a very regular kind of average family. Like many people, my parents fought about money. And I grew up with a mother who was very, very stressed and anxious about money. So I really inherited those tendencies. Money was, first of all, not really talked about very much. When it was talked about from a very scared perspective. There were no financial goals. We weren't talking about investments. We weren't talking about making wise decisions. We were sometimes talking about, you know, my dad should have paid for this or my mom should have paid for that. There was a lot of real animosity around money for me growing up, and so I grew up with a very skewed and distorted view of money. Funny enough, the thing that taught me about money was my student loan. So I moved away for university. I moved from Ottawa to Montreal and I took on a big fat student loan. I think my loan in the end ended up being around $40,000, which in Canada is quite high for an undergrad. In the US, that's peanuts. But for me, that was a lot of money and it was always on my mind. Money was always on my mind. I was always afraid of money. I was always holding myself back from experiences because I felt like I couldn't afford it. I felt like I didn't deserve it. And when I graduated school and got a great paying job as a management consultant, I went nuts. Basically just extreme lifestyle creep, shopping all the time, eating out all the time, drinking all the time. You know, those $18 cocktails? I was having one at least a couple of times a week. And none of those things are bad. None of those things were bad at all. You're allowed to do those things. You're allowed to spend on those things. Live your life, live your best life, as long as you can afford it. And I could not afford it. I had this big debt. I had an expensive apartment, and I was blowing money every single day going out. And really my spending habits were self-soothing. I was really just trying to, like, I don't know, soothe my anxieties. And when COVID hit, also the interest-free period of my student loan hit, and I decided I'm gonna take charge of my finances. I really dove deep into YouTube videos, and I also just learned through sharing. As soon as I decided it was time to take charge of my finances, I filmed a video about it. So literally my entire financial journey has been documented here on YouTube. I'll link that playlist down below, and I really turned things around. I paid off my debt. I kind of brought down my lifestyle. I learned how to spend on things that really make me happy and to cut out the rest. And it was a long journey. Like, it was really a long process. It actually wasn't until October of 2022 when I got these products that I'm going to show you in a minute that I finally felt calm about money. I finally felt confident about money. I finally felt like I had a budget that I could stick to. Because before that, I didn't have a budget. I was just cutting things out right, left, and center. And it worked. It definitely helped. I was able to pay off my debt, but I never felt secure and I never felt comfortable. So those of you who know me, you know this was the game changer for me, this cash envelope system, which was a lovely, amazing gift from The Line, who the owner of The Line is like a subscriber to my channel. And she was like, I've got this company, let me send you these products. I really think you'll love it. And in just 1 month, they changed my life. And now we're working together as partners on videos, which is so amazing. And I'm so grateful for her support, her products, just everything. I literally talk about my cash envelopes every single month, but they have really, really changed my life as it comes to my finances. And they've changed my life overall because I now feel so calm about finances. Like, every monthly money video I make, I'm like, I'm so surprised at how calm I feel. So these are the cash envelopes. I make my budget every single month with these. I do a lot of my spending on cash, not all of it. Like, obviously rent, gas, bills, certain things are not spent on cash, but my day-to-day spending, so like my groceries or dining out, I allocate a cash amount every single month and I stick it in these envelopes. And I carry the envelopes around with me in these folios. So this is the new folio that I have. It's basically my wallet, and it's made of premium Saffiano leather from The Line. It's also engraved, which is so amazing. So I carry this around with me every single day. But I got started with this folio right here, which is on the more affordable side. It's a vegan leather folio. So after a couple months of these products, Raisa, the owner of The Line, was like, Zoe, you're ready for the digital budget tracker. So she sent me over that as well. And I finally got the hang of it in January 2023. And I've been using that as well. I find it perfectly complements the cash envelopes method, but you can use it even if you don't use the cash envelopes. It's super, super affordable, and you can change your currency if you like. You can start at any time. You don't need to start in January. And what it's gonna do is help you track all of your spending. It's gonna give you a month overview of your spending, your earnings, your savings, and then the longer you use it, you're going to be able to get an annual overview as well. So from the bottom of my heart, I recommend these products. They are Canadian, they are affordable, and they changed my life, and I honestly think they can change yours too. So because we're talking about financial goals today, I first of all felt it was important to talk about the system that is helping me achieve my financial goals, but I also am so excited we're doing a little giveaway. So stick around to the end of the video if you'd like to participate. And thank you so much to The Line for sponsoring. I love you guys. I love your products. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've chatted for almost 10 minutes, let's take a sip. And now let's take action. I'm not gonna run through each and every one of my goals one by one. You can check out my annual video for all of the goals that I made. Today, we're just gonna get to it and we're gonna take action, and I am so excited. I feel like I've been slacking a little bit on my financial goals because in February, I went on vacation for 2 weeks, which like felt like the whole month. And in March, I moved. So finances and my financial goals were just not at the forefront of my mind. And now that we're April, now that we're Q2, I'm like, okay, it's time to get moving. One of my biggest goals for the year was to pay off my line of credit. So this is, it's complicated. Basically, I don't carry a balance on my credit cards because the interest is so high, but a line of credit is like an account with the bank where rather than a loan, which has like an end date and it's for a specific purpose, the line of credit is kind of like open credit, just like a credit card, but it's not a credit card. So you can take money out of it to pay off your credit card. You can take money out of it to, let's say you had an emergency. You can take money out of it because you want to go shopping. You can put it back in, you can take it back out. It's very like, it's like an open, you know, you can always keep using it, repaying it, using it, repaying it. And that's how I've been using it. I have gone like, I've incurred debt on it, I've paid it all off. I've incurred debt, I've paid it all off. And most recently, the most recent debt that is on here, you guys might remember this story time, is actually my insurance. So I forgot to renew my car insurance and I wanted to renew it as monthly payments, completely forgot, and I got charged $4,000. Yes, my insurance is insanely high. We won't talk about it. It's because I'm a new driver. So anyways, okay, I had $4,000 charge for my insurance that I didn't have the cash on hand for, so I put it on my line of credit, and I've been working on paying that off since September of 2022. I've been quite aggressive with it because I just, you know, I went through the whole student debt thing. I don't like debt. I don't want to carry around debt. It just, although it doesn't stress me out the way that it used to, it doesn't make me feel good. So I've been quite aggressive in paying that off. Since January, my goal was to pay $700 a month, which would mean that it would take me only 3 months to pay off my credit card. Pay off my line of credit, I mean. 3 months to pay off the line of credit. And did I do it last month? No. Is it because I didn't have the money? No, it's because I wanted to do it on camera and I waited around until I had the time to film this video. I know it's really silly, but that's how much I love doing this stuff on camera. So without further ado, let's pay off my line of credit right now. I'm gonna open up my banking app and we're gonna pay this thing. So the exact amount was $724.29 and continue, transfer now, it's done. I'm on my way to being debt-free. That's so fun. Okay, now the reason I'm not completely debt-free is because I still have my car loan. But before we get into talking about my car loan, let's take a minute, pat ourselves on the back. I find so many times with not just financial goals, but any goals, we just breeze right through them. We don't take a moment to be like, wow, we did that. You know, it's like, okay, next. So I'm gonna take a moment and just be proud of myself for paying that off. And it's, yeah, it's a weight off of my shoulders, definitely. And next year, my insurance will be cheaper, mark my words. All right, moving along now, my next 2 goals are not related and they're not intertwined, but they're both my number 1 priority. They're like sharing the spot now that that line of credit is paid off. They're sharing the spot for number 1 priority. So the first thing is my emergency fund. For the past, I don't even know how long, basically since I started this financial journey, my goal has been to have a $10,000 emergency fund. And throughout my journey, I've gotten it somewhat high, and then I took some of it out to buy a car, which is not an emergency. I took some of it out for actual kind of emergencies, like when I didn't earn enough money to pay my rent last year, or when I had to take my dog to the vet, stuff like that. Everyone's definition of an emergency is different. For me, those were perfectly valid reasons to touch my emergency fund. But lately, I'm so grateful I haven't had to touch it, but I also haven't been the best at putting money towards it. Now, the second goal is to pay off my car loan. I know a lot of people are like, just let the car loan ride, just whatever, you know, it's fine. I already made a couple, when was it? I think it was well over a year ago. I made a big lump sum payment towards my car loan because I didn't want to have to take 6 years to pay this thing off. I really like the idea of driving around in my car and having it be fully paid off so that, you know, when you have to change your tires or when something happens, like it's happened to me twice being parked on the street that someone damages my car. And one of the times I never got it fixed because I just don't want to pay for it. But I think I'd have a much easier time paying for those things if my car was completely paid off. So yeah, I just visualize myself like driving around, car is paid off, no worries. And I love that image. It feels really good. That's why these 2 things are like equally important to me, because I also like the idea of walking around knowing that I've got $10,000 put aside for a rainy day. Currently in my emergency fund, I have $4,000, which means that I am $6,000 or Do you guys hear Maggie like she just drank a bunch of water and now she's like sneezing. You okay? You okay? So there's $6,000 left to reaching my goal, or else you could say I'm 40% of the way there, which sounds pretty good. So I made some calculations before sitting down to film of like, okay, you know, if my goal is to pay these things off in 2023, how much do I have to contribute every single month, right? Like we want to break down the goal. In the past, I've said things like, I want to have a $10,000 emergency fund. And then I wait for the account to fill itself up. Well, good luck with that. It's not gonna happen. So I wanted to break down the remaining amount by the amount of months left in the year and think, okay, how much do I have to contribute every single month? And is this realistic if I wanna achieve this goal? So for the emergency fund, $6,000 divided by 8 months left in the year brought me to $750 per month, which is quite high. That I find that's a bit high, especially with, you know, contributing to other savings and blah, blah, blah. 750 is high. For my car loan, paying the rest off meant that I would be contributing $270 per month. Now my car loan is already on auto kind of repayment of $108 a month. No, $208 a month. So it's not far off from what I'm already paying. Now I'm sitting here and I'm so fortunate that in the month of February, I had a very high earning month. I worked really, really hard, did extra hours at my contract. I did like more kind of video sponsorships than usual. I also got more views on my channel than usual. So that brought in some extra AdSense money. And right now that money is just kind of sitting in an account, not collecting interest, just like sitting there because I'm kind of not used to it and I'm like afraid of it and I want to honor it. But what better way to honor the earnings that you're so grateful for than contributing them to your financial goals? So that's what we're gonna do today. In line with some other calculations that I made, I decided to make 2 lump sum contributions to each of these accounts, which will make the remaining monthly contributions much more manageable. I'll talk about how I got to these numbers in a little bit because they're in line with some of the other goals, but today for the emergency fund, I'm going to contribute $2,250, which will bring the amount left to my goal of $10,000 to $3,750, and making my monthly payments $470, which is way, way, way more manageable. I talk about this in my monthly money updates, but because I'm a freelancer and a content creator, my income fluctuates all over the place. So it's really hard for me to like set up these auto payments. It's hard for me to guarantee that I'm gonna have X amount of dollars. So bringing that number down to a lower monthly repayment means that I can feel confident knowing that like, yes, I can come up with $500 a month to contribute to this. I think, you know, that's good. It makes me feel confident, which makes me feel like I'm really on a good track to achieving this goal. So let's make that payment together right now. 2250. Now, my emergency fund, I keep it in a higher interest savings account with Wealthsimple. So after the video closes, I will make that transfer just because it takes a little bit longer. But I put the money into my checking account so that it's ready to go. And the transfer is instant. I think it shows up within like 30 minutes from Wealthsimple. It's pretty good. Now, I also thought it would be so nice if the already set up monthly sort of auto pays for my car loan could be enough. So I did some reverse calculations. What would I have to pay today towards my car loan to make those monthly payments enough to finish off the loan by the end of the year? And that number was $510. So I'm really lucky. I sold a bunch of furniture when I was moving and got some extra income that way in the month of March. So I'm going to use some of that furniture money to pay off my car loan. Continue, transfer now, done. That feels so good. I haven't made like a proper payment, i.e. not automatic, onto my car loan in so long. So I feel really proud for doing that. Okay, so we are now on track to both of these goals, both of my 2 biggest financial goals coming true by the end of the year. All I have to do is for the emergency fund, hold myself accountable that every single month I will transfer $470 or more into the account, and we can keep up with this in the monthly monies. I will make sure that I do it whenever I pay off my credit cards. I'll do the transfer to the savings at the same time, and the car loan's a bit easier. It's already set up on auto pay, and by December 2023 or by January 2024, those 2 goals will be done. That is so exciting. Like, I've never really sat here and had like a true plan to getting ever since my debt, really, ever since my big debt repayment journey, I haven't had like a concrete plan to paying off my debt. So this feels really good. I mean, some of this is debt, some of this is savings, but you get what I mean. The next goals surround getting 1 month ahead. So this is where I come up with enough money to pay off, let's say, rent or spending in advance. Basically, I will contribute to this account. It's an account that I have with my bank, and I will contribute to this account throughout the month in little installments. This came from basically living paycheck to paycheck, and every time my rent was due, like freaking out, taking my rent directly from my paycheck and then having nothing left from my paycheck and just living in that constant cycle of like stress and not a good feeling. What's nice is that because I just moved, my 1 month ahead amount has gone down significantly because my rent has gone down significantly. So we went from $1,510 as the 1 month ahead amount to $875, which is way more manageable. So $875 in this account is my goal. That is my biggest goal, to kind of always have that throughout the month. Now it's really nice because I work part-time at a spin studio. I have my paychecks immediately directly deposited into that account. So half of that amount will fill itself up just by me going to work and doing a job that is super fun. I mean, I'm really lucky. All of my jobs are super fun. So nice. So that 1 month ahead account is like pretty much taken care of. Now, recently I've been thinking, this month specifically, when I did my budgeting, I thought it would be nice if actually I could maybe challenge myself to bump this up to $1,875. And that is because $1,000 is usually what my cash budget is for the month. So if I could have the $1,000 cash budget plus the rent in this account, that would be amazing. Now, obviously that's higher than the amount that I was having trouble hitting just for my old rent, but I don't know. That's kind of my challenge. We'll see if we can get there. So every month I'll just make little contributions. Right now that account currently has $1,000 in it, and we're still kind of in the early April, so that feels really, really good. Now I have a Getting 1 Month Ahead 2.0 account, which is a, like, we can call it a business account, which is for this office. So the office comes directly from any YouTube or copywriting, like any business income. Although I'm not yet a licensed corporation, but anything that I earn can go directly towards this office rent. So I've decided to not only get 1 month ahead for this office, but to get 3 months ahead. So the rent here is $750. So to be 3 months ahead is $2,250. Now, if that number sounds familiar, it is because it's also the amount that I just took out to put towards my emergency fund. And that's because weirdly, these two numbers lined up perfectly to be the amount of money that I had in my like business checking account. It's just spooky, and sometimes these little coincidences happen. So that is where I got that extra money to put towards my emergency fund, because I was holding more than 3 months worth of rent in this account. And like I said before, it's just sitting there. It's not earning me interest. It's not doing anything for me. It's my money. I worked hard for it. I earned it. So I'm going to put it into my savings. So that's kind of my new threshold for how much money to keep in there and on hand for any potential business expenses. It doesn't just have to be rent, but that was kind of my little threshold and idea for the amount of money to keep aside. So that's that for 1 month ahead. I feel very confident this year that I can stick to it, at least for my base goal. Maybe for my personal one, it might be a little bit more challenging, but I think it's a good challenge, and it's always nice to have these challenges for ourselves when we're in a good place. Like sometimes we're in not so good of a place when it comes to our finances, and we can set too high of challenges just to be hard on ourselves. I don't want you guys doing that. I really don't. If you're struggling with financial anxiety, if you're being really hard on yourself for your finance, set achievable goals so that you can feel confident, so that you can prove to yourself, I can achieve these goals, and then build your way up. That would be my little friendly tip for you guys. Okay, the next goal after 1 month ahead was contributing to my RSP and my TFSA. Specifically, I wanted to get these payments on auto deposit. Now, I'm not 100% ready to set up the auto deposit just because of the income fluctuations. I really don't want to get into a situation where the money comes out automatically, there wasn't enough in my checking account, and I get a $50 NSF fee. Like, no, thank you. However, recently I've been reflecting, and I really want to put more focus into my retirement savings account, which is my RRSP, specifically because there are really great tax benefits, and being self-employed, taxes scare the F out of me. Like they scare me so much. So I feel like I can contribute to my future self and get some tax benefits by putting more emphasis on my RSP. And I saw this video the other day. This girl was like a reel, and she was saying how she gets paid and then she takes 40% off immediately for taxes and RSP. And I was like, I can do that. What if every time I got paid, I just 40%, don't think about it, 40%. You know what I mean? Don't think, just do it. So I'm gonna try that. I actually tried that with the last payment I received for a sponsored video. I went, oh, I got it. What am I doing? I took it and I put it in my RSP, okay? And it felt so good to contribute to that long neglected account. So I felt really good about that. Let's make 2023 the year that I actually think about my RSP. And yeah, I don't know, what is that for you guys? Like, do you have one of those accounts that you feel like you should contribute to, you know you should contribute to, but you kind of neglect it? I would love to know. And for me, it was my RSP. And I actually already have an auto deposit set up on my TFSA of $100 every month. Honestly, it's amazing because I forget about it every single month. I have gotten into that NSF scenario a couple of times, which sucked. So that's why I'm not ready to bump it up higher, but eventually, and this year, I will bump it up higher. We're using positive word statements. I will, but not just yet. Okay, the last goal we're going to talk about today is the earnings goal that I set for myself, which was to earn $5,000 or more per month. We've now completed 3 months of 2023 and I have hit my goal every single month. Last month, in the month of March, I only surpassed it by maybe a little bit more than $100. So I was like, oh, I cut it close. And for a minute, I started feeling badly. I was like, oh, I didn't blow my goal out of the water. And I was like, kind of sad. And JS was like, Zoe, if you achieve a goal, you achieved it. Don't be sad. Like, you don't get to be sad for passing your goal. You don't get to be sad for passing your goal not enough. Like, that doesn't make sense. So I'm sticking with the $5,000 earnings per month goal. I really hope that like every single month we can continue to at least hit it. So far my income went like January, February, March. But that's okay. That's the way it goes. That's all the goals I'm going to talk about. I had a couple other ones, but this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to wrap it up. Again, if you want to see what those other goals were, I'll just tell you right now, like I'm-ish progressing towards them, but we'll talk about them maybe in another 3 months. But yeah, you can check out the original video linked down below. Now, before we wrap this video up, let's get into the details of the giveaway. So partnering up with The Line, we are going to be giving away 2 prizes. They were super, super generous with the prizes, and I know you guys will love them. There are going to be 2 winners. One person is going to win the digital budget tracker so that you can take control of your finances, monitor your finances, and have this beautiful spreadsheet to do it in. And the other winner is going to win a cash envelopes starter kit. So you will win the vegan leather folio in black, which is the one that I started with, and you will win 5 custom cash envelopes. If you want to enter, just comment down below what one of your financial goals are and how you think either of these systems will help you achieve it. And then just take a screenshot of your comment and drop it in the Google form down below along with your email address. We will keep this open for 2 weeks. I'll put the date on the screen that it will close. And thank you again for The Line for being so generous with this giveaway and also for sponsoring this video. Okay, you guys, that is a wrap on this video. It was so fun sitting down, hanging out, and talking about financial goals. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will stop talking now and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.